Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Let the happiness take you in.
Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Super Fast Tortoise show. In the show, morning coffee, all that fun jazz. Episode 42. I forgot to put in the title. Oh, no. But anyways, hey, we got a hillbilly. We got a kjcowboydan. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And look at hillbilly. He's looking sharp today. Yeah, that's right. You notice anything different? You notice anything different?
Wow, there's keeps on getting less and less hair, don't he?
Yeah. Well, yeah. One day we'll have the bald hillbilly.
You done heard it once.
All right. Man, it's going to be a good day. I'm struggling because yesterday was a huge, busy day. Lots of fun stuff happened. Yesterday was the wife's birthday. We celebrated. Ironically, no cake, but we had cookies. There was ice cream. There was food. There was dancing. You know, all the good stuff. Yeah. But I do got some news for everybody. Found this out yesterday. Thursday and Friday most likely won't be a show in the morning unless I can, because like my set, I'm permanently set up now. I can't just take it down and transfer it so easily anymore. And I'll be dog sitting this weekend.
Poor dogs gonna get sit on.
Poor dogs. Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of activity in the family life, not our family, but our family in where I live. My nephew is moving all the way to Florida. I can tell you where in Florida, but they're moving to Florida, and my brother-in-law is helping them move their stuff because my nephew had surgery and can't lift anything over 20 pounds ish, right? And so they're helping the family. The family's helping the family move and get done because they got a new job in Florida, and they can't take the dogs, so we're gonna be dog sitting. All right,
gonna be sitting on the dogs.
Yeah, sitting on the dogs. I mean, I'll do what I can with my laptop, but I won't have the cool camera. I won't have the cool mic. But yeah, I'll do what I can with what I got.
Yeah, well, that's all you can do. I mean,
I'm sure the community will understand if you end up missing a day because of the dog sitting on you.
Yep.
Dog sitting. That's right. Ooh, dog sitting on me. Let's say hello to people in chat. We got Lone Wolf. Oh yeah. And Lone Wolf, man, just survived some traumatic weather last night.
Yes, he did.
Ooh,
I'm just glad he's all right.
Oh yeah, we're glad you're okay. Things are safe and where you're at. Man, that was scary stuff. Watching Ryan Hall yesterday, watching everything that was happening with the weather. It was insanity.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when a member of my family come through your town.
Remember your family comes to town. Nice. We got Kane Chick saying, woo woo, we're getting another Jurassic World movie this year. Hell yeah. No, that actually looks pretty darn good.
We got a couple of questions in chat going.
I'm trying to get down with chat. Kane Checker says, woohoo, we're getting another Jurassic World movie. Yes, it looks really good. You got Scarlett Johansson in the lead, which is kind of weird, going from Marvel to Jurassic Park. But this isn't the first time because we had Owen Grady. I can't think of the actor's name. The guy who plays Star-Lord. Chris Pratt. He was in the movie. So it's like Universal starting to steal Disney people. I don't know. And Kane Checker, hello, by the way. Hello, welcome to the show. And we got Kevin G. Says, what do you use for your streams? I am needing to get these ready for One Piece podcast. I use StreamYard. It's about $50+ a month, $50 plus tax. But I use it's only worth it because I stream every day. It is free. I can recommend it to you because I believe it, trust it, but a cheaper alternative that KJ likes to use is Restream.
Yeah, there's a Restream as well. Yeah, it's I pay for the yearly membership, which gives you a much cheaper alternative, and it offers just a little bit more, a little bit less, and a little bit more. It's all depending on how you look at it, what you're using. Like if you need it for certain things, like for daily basis stuff, it offers less than what you'd be wanting from like here in StreamYard, but it offers more if you're streaming from OBS, and you can use Restream from your OBS as well as your collaborator stage that they offer.
Oh yeah,
they do. Yeah, they do have free versions of these.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a trial period, but I think they use free versions of this.
And if you have Twitch has its own version. Plus, you can also use your own Discord server as a way to do exactly the same thing.
Right. Well, one good thing about using Restream and StreamYard is if you do have multiple platforms that you like to stream on, they offer that in their plans. Like if I wanted to, I could stream up to like 5 different places, like Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. That lets you do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, the same with Restream. And these Restreamers, they also have these what I like to call simulcasting. They have the opportunity for you to simulcast to all your different networks. So if you want, because maybe you have you're on Billy and you're getting your stuff out there internationally, which is pretty much YouTube and Twitch for Japan, China,
Right.
I was trying to think of the region.
Yeah, well, they're really good. It's only as good as you can afford it and use it. That's all I can say when it comes to these programs. But if you want the freest program, if the podcast is only you, no guests, OBS is the best way to go.
Yeah.
All right. But anyways, Kane Checker says no to no show. Manamonk's like no. Good morning, Manamonk. Hey, traversing the multiverse to get here and party with us. Nice.
Good morning, everybody.
See, Kevin G says the gray is back in SFT's beard, and it's like he aged 10 years in a few weeks' time. That's right. Can you have MTG Hillbilly host the show if you can? I don't know. Jeez. Well, I know normally when I do not stream, Kevin, when I normally can't stream like that, KJ usually does a morning show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do a chat and chill, like get the boys together for that. I haven't done that in a minute.
Mhm,
Thinking about starting doing that again, just a morning chat and chill.
mhm. You know,
Where's SFT? Morning chat and chill.
that's right.
Maybe we'll get a graphic that has like a whole bunch of Waldos and one super fast tortoise.
Mhm. Yeah, but yeah. Well, even on those days, if I'm available, I might be able to pop on. But I'll if I can, I could do the show from there. Just I won't have the camera, I won't have the mic. Everything will be off my laptop, which my laptop has a decent microphone, and it has an all right camera. So we'll see how it goes. We'll try to plan it out. Like the only thing that kind of hinders the idea from being able to stream well is the dogs have to be taken out throughout the night. I lose some sleep. I'm tired in the mornings, and yeah. But boom. This is not it would be a weekly podcast that we'll do every Sunday. Oh, nice. Robert's table. Hey, what's up?
What's up?
That's right. Yeah, Kevin G. Oh no, there'll be 3 of us that would do it each week. Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. If you do it once a week, the free version's perfect for you. The free version, you'll just have on the top right by Hillbilly's block, there'll be like a StreamYard logo. That's there, but you can use 25 hours free, so you can do 2-3 hour streams for once a week.
Mm-hmm.
So check it out.
That's the way I'd go if I was just doing it once a week.
Mm-hmm. I mean that's how we started, the show.
Yeah, we did start with that watermark.
Mm-hmm. We did, and we got Coach's Magic. Coaches, it's good. Here.
All right.
Oh man. Whoa. My brain. It's not ready for this. All right. Well, it was such a hot topic the other day. I figured we'd kind of bring it back again. But talk about it more loosely instead of being stuck on Final Fantasy. But Final Fantasy might take over the subject. But WOTC, Wizards of the Coast, is transforming the game of Magic: The Gathering. They're transforming the IP thing, where they're bringing in more IPs. They're pushing a lot more standard product. This is the first year in a while where we had straight standard product every 2 months. In a while, you usually get something every 2 months, but it's not always standard something every 2 months. Right. And this time we're being filled with a lot of stuff. We're getting a lot of secret layers. Holy cow! About every day I'm getting a notification for a secret layer. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. And you know what? You're doing pretty good. Some people think the game is dying. It's on its last legs. In fact, I can't remember which video it was, but it was on another person's video. I was watching Gone Road Games, and they did a video on their channel, which they haven't done for a while. And this person's like, Magic: The Gathering's on its last legs. Once the last player passes on in life or gives up on Magic, it's gonna be done for. And I don't see that happening, really.
As long as Magic keeps promoting to the younger crowd, as we know, those kids are going to pick up the games and they're going to play them in the schools on playgrounds, and the kids are still going to play the game as long as they keep promoting to a younger player. Just how we still collect. The kids still collect baseball cards,
Right.
I mean, you don't see advertising for baseball cards anywhere.
No.
But the kids still collect baseball cards. The kids still collect comic books. You're still going to get it. They just got to keep advertising towards the young, which means stay relevant towards the younger generation, stories that they want to hear, storylines they want to see, characters that they want to see in their games. And I believe that, unfortunately, while the older generation, we have a lot of hot topics on this show, particularly regarding having IPs that are not Magic in the game. That's how they get the younger generation, and that's how the game will survive, and it will continue to survive.
Hmm? I got a thought on that, but really quick, I want to say, "Ayo, fish games."
So fish game.
Fish game.
You know, fish without an I is fish. That's right. Like a flash in the frying pan. No I'm kidding. All right.
Covered in
Well, what I think about
bread
this,
and butter and bacon grease and
Bacon grease.
fish fry.
For sure.
What I-
What were you saying?
what I think about this is Magic is never going to die because it's just too popular.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they may be bringing in new IPs and all that, but it's still so popular to where it's not going to die. Yeah, they bring up new IPs in just to try to hook these new people in. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes they'll just come in just to collect the cards of their liking, just like some people like Final Fantasy, some people don't. But the ones that like Final Fantasy is going to come in and just buy the Final Fantasy cards, and they'll either play the game, learn the game, or just collect the cards. Just because
Right. Well, that's a 50-50 though, that's a 50-50. And I think people are not really worried about the game selling because the game's going to sell. I think the whole story that was given to us about the gentleman feeling like his game was going to one day die. One last person will be there. Like he is the last man on earth watching, and he finally has time to play his game, but he's the last man on earth. And that was what the story was kind of like. It was kind of like that Twilight Zone episode where finally have time to read after the end of the world and the guy's glasses break. This is the same story, but Magic the Gathering wise. He's seeing the last people that he, in his mind, he feels, oh well, us old people are going to die off and the kids aren't going to play it. I don't believe that's a fact. I just think that it's all about keep on getting the kids engaged.
Right.
The younger generations who's going to be playing it,
Mm-hmm. That's right. You have that engagement going on, have that engagement. That's what they're doing. They're engaging everybody in the game as much as possible. Exactly. That's what I think that's the favorable part. Like, I'm not for all the different IPs. Like, I really just don't care about half the IPs they've done, but I do care about the ones I do like. But I know this is hard for some people to believe, but Magic is not always about you. It's not always about me, right? When it comes to these things, Jurassic Park was about me. I loved it, right? I got some cool stuff from it. Transformers had some about me, but it's not always going to be about me, right? It's going to be about the group, the community, the people in general. They're going to try to focus on things and get bigger things that more people are interested in to be a part of. And it's transforming in a way where people are doing it. And like Pokemon, I think they're really trying to push the game to be in that status where not only is the game multi-generational, but people keep wanting to buy the products. Every time Pokemon comes out with something special, like I don't know what they call those stupid boxes, but they have that promo version of a card that people want. They'll go and buy those boxes like crazy. Let's see. Yeah. Cane Shaker said, we've heard way too many times that Magic is dead. Oh, yeah. Like when Mana Burn changed, when they fixed the stack, when Mirrodin was out, like the first rendition of Mirrodin, the first set of Mirrodin. Oh, my Lord. How many times has Magic been killed and just lived past its own death, technically?
Exactly.
I know it's not a trading card game, but look at Battleship. I mean, seriously, that two pieces of plastic and cardboard and and some plastic pegs, and that thing has lasted for 40 years and people are still buying Battleship.
And Monopoly.
And yeah, well, I used Monopoly on my rant last time we had this conversation, so I didn't
But
want to
people,
do that again.
but people are still playing Monopoly though.
They are.
Yeah.
Mhm. Like up there, I have a copy of Monopoly right there.
Yeah,
Right.
you know,
Mhm.
and there, and how does Monopoly stay or the game alive? How do they stay relevant? Well,
They make those different IPs.
yeah, they make the different IP versions. I believe we have a Jesse backstage.
Oh snaps! Whoa, 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 whoa! Jesse.
Hey. Well, yeah, I mean, Magic, I don't think they're ever going to die because there's too many IPs out there that they can get probably, and I mean, yeah, there's a few out there that cannot get, but there's a bunch they can get, and they can,
One of the things
just
that
come into Magic.
one of the things that they did with Monopoly in order to keep it relevant is and they did it a couple of times. Back in the 90s, they did a credit card edition. Then in the early 2000s, they brought that idea back. You know, they tried keep it relevant towards the kids to a certain degree. And, you know, that's how Magic has to deal with the IPs. They're going to be changing the mechanics. You know, there are some aspects of the mechanics that you have been playing for 30 years. And when a new person comes in, I've been told like different things. Well, just read the card. It tells you what the mechanic is. But I don't know what, if I didn't know what reach was or trample, you know, I'm like, okay, how do I play this card? You know, if,
Right.
you know, and so like, I do feel like they need to do some of these things that are kind of shunned upon in the community, like changing the mechanics slightly, or because now that changes the card, that hurts another card, or whatever. You know, they're trying to make the game so that way, like Pokemon, children can pick it up a lot easier.
Hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why Pokemon's popular.
Really quick, I want to pause you for a second, and I'll let you finish.
No, that was it. That was my point.
Okay. Well, I want to pause. I just want to interject. Just one thing I miss about core sets back in the day, like yearly core sets. Not only were core sets like a kind of like a reprint set, and they added new cards in it, some new cards in it, but the core sets were not only vital for telling you when standard start, when standard ended, and whatnot. But when they brought back mechanics like reach, trample, whatever, they always put the reminder text on it. So someone like you who gets in the game is trying to learn these new mechanics or these old mechanics, they're there written down for you. So, reading the card explains reach, reading the card explains trample and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's just like the way because I mean, you only have so much information on a card. It's reading the card only helps to a certain degree. It's like, okay, well, without actually knowing how to play these mechanics, and a lot of kids, they don't take time to read the whatever instruction manuals there. They learn to play through playing with their friends.
Oh, yeah.
And so like having these mechanics that change might be part of their gearing towards getting that younger generation in who will be the survivors of the Magic era and who will indeed survive Magic into the next era. That's the way an evolving game works.
All right, really quick. Lone Wolf says he, even though he doesn't think Magic is as big as Pokemon, but he thinks Magic's doing good. When coaches Magic says Magic's in a great spot right now. Whoever said that is eating dog food. But it's funny because, like,
yeah, exactly.
Don't I think the only thing stopping Magic the Gathering from being as big as Pokemon, like technically, and this is just opinion based, is on Pokemon, you don't have a sticker saying 13 plus, right? So little kids can collect the game, older people can collect the games. Where Magic kind of like says, 13 plus. And now I know people go against that when they're like training their kids, teaching their kids Magic or younger than 13 and whatnot. But like, and I don't think people are IDing you at the store. Some like 8-year-old buys a pack of magic cards, I don't think their cashier's like, you got ID, you got to be 13 plus to buy this pack. But it's just Pokemon has more reach, more power behind it, but
because it's more appealing to a younger generation,
right, Magic the Gathering,
which
is
leaves you more time for nostalgia.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's one thing I never understood about Magic is why 13. I mean, heck, an 8-year-old can read. They can play the game.
Because a lot of the Magic cards, they have images depicting severed heads, or I know this because I'm trying to build up that severed head deck, and they got some imagery that some people might consider witchcrafty, and how they people of religious backgrounds kind of like want to keep their kids away from that. So if you put a little age bracket on it, it kind of says,
well, back in the day when Magic first started, and they've tamed this down a bit, but in secret layers and special sets, they kind of did it differently. There's some salacious artwork back in the day, some gory artwork that they don't do as much today. Back when Magic first started, there was more adult themes in the game. Like there's a card called I can't remember the name of the card, but the imagery on it was very seductive for the scene, and so they don't do stuff like that anymore. And that was aimed towards kids, and even though they've tamed the Magic and made it more open, like nowadays, I think Wizards of the Coast could get away with a lot of the products being not 13 plus. It could be less.
Yep.
But being 13 plus, they do some secret layers. They get away with some iffy art. When they there's a couple arts in Final Fantasy that are kind of iffy, when it comes to 13 plus mark, So that 13 plus gives them more creative outlets to do more edgy things compared to Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's been one of the catch-alls. Yeah.
Well, they came out with one card. It was a male guy on the card, and they had his nipples, I guess you'd call it, showing. They took that card. They took that card off the market and replaced it with the same art, but they took those off of the card.
That's funny. That's not the first time Wizards done something like that. But yeah, because they are trying to appeal to kids.
Yep.
Yeah,
they are, and I don't know when they will ever get that 13 plus out there off the pack.
Right.
But kind of like Disney movies, like Marvel movies. They're trying to both appeal to adults and kids. You know what I'm saying? They want the adults to have their fun. They want the kids to have their fun, and they don't do it like they used to. Because just ask KJ, right? Those kid shows back in the day not only were for kids, but there were adult jokes sprinkled in there.
Yeah, absolutely. For the Flintstones in episode, the black and white episodes would have Fred Flintstone smoking Pall Mall cigarettes in episode. That's why you don't see the black and white Flintstones episodes on television anymore. And you see something like that nowadays. Oh my God! Every single Karen and her sister is going to be over at Washington complaining about about something in a cartoon or a comic book or a card. Literally. I'm not sure if you remember how bad Pokemon had it back in the 90s, but when this Pokemon had its little issue where people were going the satanic panic, on
Right.
Pokemon. Even Jesse probably saw in the UK, the satanic panic over with the Harry Potter stuff. I mean, people are going to freak.
Do you remember that Tom Hanks movie about Dungeons and Dragons, but they call it Mazes and Monsters?
Mm-hmm.
Part of the satanic panic. There was a craze back then, and that's when companies changed things a lot. Is during that film. Tom Hanks, big actor. Everybody here probably knows Tom Hanks. You know, if you don't know him from Toy Story, you don't know him from Big, you don't know him from like several of the great movies he did, like Castaway, right? But like he did a movie where him and his friends got into D&D, and they tried to making it look like he got hypnotized or demonically drug into the world of imagination, and it took over his life and started ruining things for him. Yeah, that satanic panic thing is a real thing. I remember my parents sent me down because they were Christian back in the day, and they had me watch a video called Hell's Bells, and it was about media, cartoons, He-Man, rock and roll, serving the devil. It was ridiculous,
Man.
And that's a lot of things that shape the way things work today. Kids friendly, whatnot. TCG dude, what's up? Says I could be standing outside my LGS for several hours to get Final Fantasy, but I'm here instead. I must really like you guys. I really appreciate that. Robert's Table says, Laugh out loud, I've been hearing Magic is dying since beta. Magic's been dying every day, right? Every day it's dying. Someone sneezes. Oh no, the game is dying. That's what it feels like.
Oh yeah.
Also, my wife would leave me. So there's that, right? Oh, you're funny. Fishman laughing around. I mean, you only get 9 lives. Magic already used a lot of them, though. And Hellwheeler, hello. Woo. Can you even hear you, Hellwheeler?
I'm here.
I thought she was muted for a while. I was sending her messages. You muted?
No.
We said hello like 3 times and you didn't say anything. So
Yep.
Well, then you started talking. I'm not one to say hello while other people are talking. You see, when you say hello to someone, you give people a pause. Then the other person has a chance to go.
you have Americans on the line
Hello.
with you. That's this. You're talking
But
nonsense.
you're working with a British.
Yeah, and you created the word nonsense. Look it up in the American dictionary.
I only have a British dictionary,
Yeah.
the Oxford dictionary, the only dictionary you should be using.
I'll give you a copy of the map that says the Gulf of America. Too. Come on, get with the system here.
Gulf of America.
We're gonna throw your tea back in the ocean.
Hey! Don't go ruining good tea.
It ain't ruining good tea. You're sharing it with the fish.
Yes,
Eh.
making Southern sweet tea the way it's supposed to be in a big old cup.
That's funny. No, I just want to make sure you were acknowledged that you're here. We weren't ignoring you. I'm sorry, you probably were sitting in the background for a bit, and that's because we got so in line with the conversation.
As I said, I'm a Brit. I'm not one to interrupt. We'll wait for the appropriate moment to butt in.
Yeah, that's right.
Like Elijah says, Brits have got manners.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't even know what that word is. She's making up words now.
Well, I can understand from someone who speaks a frequent worse American. All right, let's see.
Good time.
Coach's Magic says a lot of people get disgruntled or lost interest and stop playing. The average player lasts 3 years. There's always someone else waiting to take your place. That's kind of how it is, right?
Yep.
And you like kind of like standing in a line for something popular. Some people stand in line, they get tired of waiting, so they leave, and the line pushes up. Someone replaces them, and someone always comes in the back of the line to fill in that spot.
Yep.
That's kind of how it is. But you know what? When I played Magic back in the day, when I was a young lad, I wish I could put like this to a song, like have like acoustic playing, and like get like really deep and serious with you, When I was a young kid, a lot of people didn't know Magic the Gathering. When I was young and got fresh into Magic in my early 20s, which was in 2005 now, geez, 20 years ago. And, I got in through the word of mouth. People wanted me to play. And you know what? We got hundreds of people to play Magic through playing the game, word of mouth, talking about the game, what we loved about the game. We were buying products from the game. And you know what? It was the freaking consumer base that got the other customers in the game.
Yeah.
That was Wizard of the Coast's biggest strength,
That's how a lot of games like Dungeons and Dragons. Wizards of the Coast had that with their whole Dungeons and Dragons stuff. With that whole book publishing company that was there before they got it even, and all the way from just about every game you can think of. I remember my friend turned me onto Pogs, and wow,
Right.
just all by word of mouth.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Like the microphone for advertising on Wizard of the Coast is insane, right? So you take what we know. Back in the day, customers got other customers into Magic the Gathering. Like consumers, players, collectors got people into Magic the Gathering.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a conversation with a friend the other day. His name, he goes by the name of James. And then I was talking to him about it. It says, Wizard of the Coast focuses on creators on YouTube, right? The bigger the creator, the more word of mouth. But what they rely on is for us to talk about what they're doing, negative or positive, right? And just like back in the day, people were negative and positive about the game. Some people liked it, some people didn't, whatever. But now, what was little us growing the game like hugely in our area for Magic, and it grew across the nation like that, is now amplified like by 100 times more because someone's like saying Magic is dead, and someone's like Magic is dead, and the viewer's like, well, I want to check out this game myself. Try it. Maybe I'll like it. Maybe I'll see what other people are saying about it. Then you got people just showcasing the cool cards of Magic, and they're like, this card's awesome. It's going to change this deck or the game right here. And people are like, oh, that's interesting. I might want to get into that. Maybe I like that style of Magic. So it's come down to good press, bad press is all good business. And that's what's really happening,
Yeah, they don't really care if you're talking bad about them or good about them. As long as they get their product out there and sold, that's all they care about. However, they'd rather for you talk good about them instead of bad.
All right. But it's just people like I believe Wizard of the Coast doesn't have to spend as much money on advertising as like other companies do because we're doing it for them.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, I think that's also a strong commentary on the whole podcast era of people. Podcasters are a dime a dozen, and everybody's like talking about their favorite thing rather than being sitting there being paid to talk about a product,
Right.
What did they talk about today? Probably Magic. Well, didn't they talk about Magic yesterday? Yeah, but they talk about Magic. That's their thing. They're not paid to talk about anything else, so they're going to talk about what they like. Well, that guy talks about comic books. That guy talks about Magic, and that crazy cat girl talks about local TCG. They just talk about things they like.
Hey,
Right.
how dare you still call me crazy? I am perfectly sane.
Have you ever met the British people? British people look. British people spawned Americans, right? In fact, there's a whole story about it in your history book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. It's kind of, and if you take the idea of British people and Americans as in like the story of Gremlins, you have British people, you add a little water, and poof, you got Americans.
Yep.
Then guess what? Americans eat after midnight.
Yup.
Yeah, you guys really are the gremlins, aren't you? The Mogwais. Don't feed them. Oh, darn it.
What is it that you call it? The war that shall not be mentioned?
That's right.
This is where the 6-hour time difference really gets in the way. Right, I've got to remember after midnight. But is that after my midnight? Or is that after your midnight?
Well, that depends on the time zone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of loopholes and plot holes in Gremlins when they talk about, well, what if it's midnight here but not there? How do you know which midnight is midnight?
Right.
I don't know. Time zones really worked in the show. Like, you remember back in the 80s somehow animals, aliens, and creatures that never been on Earth before or don't have the same common sense as a human or knowledge that a human would have, like even a basic human. These animals happen to know things about time. They knew things about politics or pop culture, they're just, somehow they just were knowledgeable back in the 80s. Like there's a monster and somehow he knows how to dance, play a horn. He knows what the groovy kind of music is, or, that in the 80s, creatures learned the human world really quick. And that's how Mogwais knew it was midnight.
Yep.
I mean, because like how would a Grumman who's never seen an alarm clock before know to unplug an alarm clock to stop the owner from knowing the time and feed him after midnight?
Right.
And that's how you got America. Because when we came to America, we didn't know the time zone. We just kept on eating. There's a lot of bad horse commentary that can go with that. Like if you dug deep into it, don't dig deep into it. It's just a joke about America spawned from Britain.
You guys got scared and ran away from us and wanted to do things your own way, and look how you've turned out.
Look.
Turned into coffee people rather than tea. Disgraceful.
We must be important because when we did run away, you guys begged us to come back. You guys got so upset that when we made contact with you, said, "Hey, we're over here. We're okay." And you're like, "Fine." You're going to.
Well, we just didn't want you running off and making embarrassments of yourselves. We're like, no, quickly, we've got to get them back here. But no, you were like, no, we can do this.
Well,
So,
look.
See what I have to go through on a regular
what's
basis.
funny about this story that I'm about to go into? You know what's funny about the story? Is it's relevant to today. Because when we moved to America and we started farming, making revolution in business, you guys wanted to sell us your stuff, your tea, and you guys raised the tariffs. You guys overpriced the tea.
And that was the first time we said yes to NFT.
Right?
No, not
right?
your tea.
That's why we had the Boston Tea Party.
but always say yes to SFT.
Okay. We're just
that was just a little runt. I was just laughing at. See what I have to go through with her,
right?
And yet he chooses to chat.
She aimed her American hate.
So,
she aimed her hate towards of Americans normally, which is at me. She aimed it right at Super Fast Tortoise. See, that was blatant racism on a British person's part to an American.
If I didn't like Americans, then why would I be here?
That's right.
Every day?
That's right. Don't get too big into it. We're just having fun. Well, like it's crazy how history repeats itself, and like in Magic the Gathering, history does repeat itself, but we get a lot of things going. Let's catch up with chat. Fish Games says core sets are great for new players for sure. Oh yeah. Manamuk, the issue is that they bring in new IPs to keep it relevant. Lord of the Rings, Assassin's Creed, Final Fantasy can fit the genre stretching a bit, but Secret Layers let you dip into other worlds. That's right. Then he says, but still in the MTG world, Spider-Man may have some cool art and mechanics, but does not fit in the fantasy realm. It's very split. And, wallets will decide that for sure. Robert Staples says, Magic also doesn't have a cute show to follow. That's right. It doesn't. It doesn't have the reach in the media realm like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Did. Kids are actually playing Pokemon. I've never seen it. Just all collectors. GameStop employees were amazed I had an expensive card that had value because it's not how it looked. That's crazy. And Kaplek, hello. Kevin G says Pokemon is huge because IP sells, not because 13. It's I like Pokemon is huge. So is Magic. That's all I get. All I can say about that.
Yep.
The cards and the art are 13 plus because of strong imagery. That's right. Good point, SFT. I agree. I'm assuming that comment is about the advertisement. Twinkies, cockroaches, and magic will be the items that survive the apocalypse. Yeah. Elijah Castle, what's up? Yo.
What's up,
Hey,
Elijah?
that's right. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, look at the old Liliana of the Veil art. Definitely 13 plus. That's right. Yeah, and like the old Eternal Witness art and other things like that. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a strong card. Earthbound. Now, one of the cards that got dinged for being too NFSCW ish, even though it's like, yeah, that's why they changed a lot of artwork nowadays not to be like old art.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the 13 plus will ever change for him. It probably won't.
May not.
The pentagram on the card cancel the game. That's right. There was a pentagram on like a dark ritual or something like that, or it was an unholy thing. I can't remember the name of the card. Due to the older imagery of cards, a lot of things did change. That's right. Blood, yeah, that's true. It's always blame Tom Hanks. That's right. Blame Tom Hanks. Kiss the kids in Satan's service. Yeah, that's funny. The Brits got manners. That's true. Americans don't have manners like other countries. Candy Chicker, in my best Kathy Bates voice, magic cards are the devil. If you caught that reference, that's a Waterboy reference.
Yup.
That's for the devil. That's the devil. Foosballs for the devil.
MTG Game Bob says, in honor of the Streamline title, I would appreciate SFT making a Transformer sound like.
I second this. I second it. Now, everybody who approves, say aye.
The ayes
and the
have
house
it.
wins. Yes, the ayes have it. So from now on, Super Fast will always be accompanied by a transform sound, and probably even tell us to roll out once in a while.
That's right. If Jessie gets bored, she will start a conversation and chat with me. That's right.
I always know there's a cane shaker about.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Elijah Castle says, I was 8 20 years ago. Whoa. 20 years ago, I was 20.
I ain't gonna say. But what I was.
Years ago?
That's right. Years ago. Says, now we don't get political here, do we? That's right. Elijah, America.
America.
It's KBG. We turn to the best country on the planet. So says the continent. All right. Backwoods. Hello, Backwoods. Welcome to the show. Planting those trees so we don't have to. The streaming train has totally derailed today. That's right. People recognize Charizard, Pikachu, and etc. What Universes Beyond characters that have the same kind of pool SFT? Well, that's the thing. If they do Universes Beyond, people who recognize the characters from other IPs, well, we're going to recognize them.
Right.
I think that's one of the things that non-Magic players had harder times pulling together or putting together was like Planeswalkers, because like you and I know Jace Bellerin, we know Liliana the Veil, we know Ajani, we know the Planeswalkers. That's you and I, the Magic players.
Right.
People who look at the game from the outside in, they see a Planeswalker and like, well, that's some cool art, but I don't know what it does. I don't know who that is. Where Pikachu and Charizard, they're splattered around. Everybody looks at Pikachu and Charizard like, I know that's Charizard. Well, when Wizards of the Coast pulls in an IP like Jurassic Park, Final Fantasy, Spider-Man, people are going to instantly recognize those characters, and that's what's pulling people in right now, which is weird. Like Spider-Man, not a lot of people are aware of it like they are Final Fantasy when it comes to a group of people. But people know Cloud, they know Sephiroth, they know there are more people who are knowing these characters and loving these characters. Like they want to be a part of it. I mean, if it wasn't like the whole pre-release stuff, the pre-sale stuff would not have sold out.
Right.
Simple as that. Simple as that. The pre-sold stuff sold out. No, luckily they're bringing more product to pre-sell, and people are getting into that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree with you, KBG. Charizard and Pikachu are more recognizable than most Magic IP stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I said Universes Within. All right, yeah, you're right. Universes Within is definitely like that. Like when it comes to Pokemon and Magic, there's a lot of Universes Within stuff that don't catch the eye. You know, it's the people who hear about the game and know about the game a little. They see a Black Lotus and they learn how expensive that card is and how quote unquote glorious the card is. They start fawning over the cards and not the imagery, you know, the characters. It's the certain cards that people learn about. But right, like with Pokemon, you don't have to be in the game to know Pikachu. And in Magic the Gathering, you kind of got to know some of the cards to be like, oh, that's a great card or that's an expensive card. So I get you there. But Magic is still doing good, and they're going to still push that out because look, Tarkir, Dragonstorm did amazing for a Universes Within set.
It did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Exactly, because RIP wasn't selling. Well, depend like as Wizard of the Coast proved, it depends on the set and how good people want the set. Like Tarkir Dragonstorm did really good, where was it Aether Drift?
Yep.
Did poorly.
Yep.
You know, the funny thing is Wizard of the Coast acts like the player base does not know how good a set is or not by looking at the cards. You know, they act like that, but you know, they even admitted they didn't put a lot of time and effort into Aether Drift, where they put more time and effort in Tarkir Dragonstorm. You know, and you know how it is when you're a kid. You know quality when you see it. Like, you know, you could have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch, or you could have a nice, delicious burger for lunch. You know, and like from McDonald's, you know, and you know that we know quality. We know when we see it, and we know where we want to spend our money.
Yep.
Yeah. Those Pokemon characters will have a cartoon to show them to the kids. Could it be that those IPs need extra coverage like that to survive? Well, I think some of them do. Some of them would have to. Like I think one of the things that One Piece has behind it right now, because that's like the biggest card game that's new right now, is that it has a show. It has seasons of shows.
It does.
You know, so.
And a huge cult following.
Right.
That's another thing. See, it's like if you want if you don't want like too big of an IP, like see, one of the things is I believe that Final Fantasy will see more money than Marvel, and it's because of what they can get out of Final Fantasy heads. While Marvel, they put their name on just about everything. It's Marvel stuff is a saturated market. It's like you want you're getting water. So you have Marvel products all over the place, but you got something thick like cream milk, and Final Fantasy is more like cream milk. It's thick and it's not all over the place. It's only in so many spots, and the people who are cult following of it will go and not only put bank into it, but also sit down and look at the product that it is. That's the one thing about Final Fantasy people, and that they will possibly be part of a new group of people starting to play Magic, where I don't think you'll get that new following of Magic through Marvel, because Marvel just has like their hands in everything, and people are like, okay, you know, there's that superhero fatigue to it.
Right. But really quick, to interject my thoughts about One Piece, right? Like, because One Piece is doing good right now, and they do have a show the following, but this ain't the first time a anime has had a card game with a show that didn't do well. So the only thing stopping will stop One Piece is the player base. If they like the game, continue to like the game. I mean, look at Force of Will. Force of Will was a big competitor to Magic for like a second. For like about a year, it did really good. Then it just faltered. So that's all based on the player base. And Magic and Pokemon have really good and strong collector and player bases. Because the joke around here, like in my town, is Pokemon's only collected by collectors, and Magic is played by players. Even though Magic has collectors, yeah,
Right.
yeah. Let's see. KBG says One Piece has a huge show. Luffy is a big character. Sadly, RIP wasn't bringing in the new players, so the creative universe is beyond to attract new players. It's very true because I think Wizards of the Coast is trying to supplant himself as a game system that everybody can recognize and get into. Because Magic the Gathering, easy to pick up, hard to master, right? Easy to pick up, hard to master, and you know, tried and true game mechanics that work. Things are working on together. You know, people are gonna have fun.
Right.
So One Piece also has the best card game out there on top of the biggest anime out there. That could be true. It's a great point, KJ. The IP that WOTC needs to pick up, the ones that still geared to adults, I don't know, an adult only set would sell out. Well, I think I understand what you're saying by adults, like something more towards and geared towards adults. But like when you do something like SpongeBob, it seems ridiculous, but they do it because, you know, the young adults nowadays and young kids will like it. But like, you know, but like the 2 to 3 prong idea is if I can sell to mom and dad, I can sell to the kids too, right? And that's kind of what they're doing. Like they're trying to they're trying to not only sell one thing to you, the adult, they're trying to sell something to the kid, you know, because kids can play this game. Like 13 plus, like I can guarantee you a lot of people ignore that 13 plus sticker. You know, when I was a kid, the mature rating on video games didn't stop me from playing Mortal Kombat when I was too young to play it. You know?
They don't. The store is not morally bound to follow a little circle with a number. First of all, that is just telling you who they're advertising that product for, who they're gearing it to.
Right.
You know, the store has no moral responsibility. Just like that movie theater had no moral responsibility, but let your 13-year-old on an R-rated movie every single time.
Right.
You know, just saying. I mean, the thing is nobody's going to enforce that unless there was like some sort of thing. That's just like it's like MSRP. It's a suggestion.
That's
you
right.
know, it's not the you have to sell it at that price. No, it's a suggestion.
Mm-hmm. And KBG's the question: is D&D having the same problems as MTG attracting new players based on their IP? No, D&D.
Oh, they have other problems.
D&D's like ever since the what is it called? The LG.
That one too. Yeah.
Ever since they tried capitalizing on D&D and charging you stupid things, whatever, people are having issues with that. Then they tried reimagining the game again like they changed it. People are not having a good time with the changes because unlike a magic card, because once you get one magic card, and even though they might, you know, need to what do you call it when they have to errata? Even though if they have to errata a card, the card's still the same. In D&D, nothing's always the same. You get a character that's like a magic card, but you know, a lot more stats and stuff. Then you can upgrade it. Well, they're trying.
Everybody has to be on the same version of the D&D character build. You know, if so, it's like that's why if you play D&D, people are like, so what version D&D you play? Well,
right,
I play
like
3.5. Oh,
5e, 5e,
Ah.
3e, you know, third edition, all that stuff.
Don't say that. Don't say 5. It's just
Look, I did not say the W word, so you should be happy.
Yeah.
5th edition is just worse. That's like saying vulgar words. 5th edition. It's so vile.
5th edition is like the most played version of
Third edition's the best.
Okay, that's all opinion, you know.
Yeah. I think they're always working on D&D.
Well, they are, but so you got D&D and you got D&D Beyond. D&D is this basic set that works well, and it's really good. Like 5th edition, 3rd edition, really good.
No, 5th edition is very. I mean, they are good, you know, and you got to put a little bit of. I do recognize the newer editions actually, because they are the ones that have gotten newer players, and the editions that are out there that people can play to, and a new player can easily pick up the current editions. You know, it's the way that it stays alive, like the beginning of the subject.
I mean, it's whatever works.
Right. Well, Kane Shaker, it won't be able to be today because today we're still on the wife's birthday again with the kids here at home. So maybe tomorrow. And yes, OGL. There you go. Thank you. Says my question is more about the young people still playing D&D, or as people our age. Well, people are making businesses off D&D and selling out to younger generations, so it's a mix. What exactly does IP and UB mean? So IP is an intellectual property, and UB means the universe is beyond.
Yep.
Right.
There you go. Universe is beyond, Magic the Gathering, bringing in IPs and intellectual properties like other properties, like say the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Final Fantasy, whatever.
Right.
Ghostbusters. There you go. Backwoods said it. Yeah. But Warhammer though. Warhammer was a good set.
Yep.
Warhammer. All right. When I hear IP, I think internet provider, and I knew that wasn't the answer. That's right. But think about internet providers and the right answer. It is a good time because we're late to get here.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. So it's lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Whoa! Man, what a full show and a full energetic cast today. Everybody talking, asking questions, having a good time. I love it. Woo, like to the point where we went to the exact hour plus mark instead of closing out a little bit earlier. So, anyways, hey, yeah, Billy.
Yo.
How are you doing today?
Okay.
Okay. Did you have a good day today?
It was all right.
Mm-hmm.
Mike was messed up earlier, but I fixed that.
Right. Mike was messed up earlier, but hey, you sounded good all this stream.
Yo.
All right. And Hellwheeler, hope you enjoyed the jokes and stuff. We're just having fun.
Always.
All right. And KJ, you rock your roll. And we're going to start the shill section. So we're going to start shilling with the cat lady of the room to shill her channel.
All right. It's Monday. So it's Procrasticraft night, where KJ and I will be wandering off in the realm of Procrasticraft in Minecraft. Not sure what we're up to. Last time we were trying to get some cats. We found where they were. So maybe this time we'll actually try and get the things we actually need to get them. So we can try and go and get them, because we weren't very prepared last time. But who knows? Adventures will be had. And I'm sure KJ will probably die a lot.
Well, isn't there that mod that when you kill someone in game, you get their head?
Yes, we have that.
Yes, we are. There are quite a lot of KJ and Hellwheeler heads scattered around Procrasticraft now.
And it's mostly because we get killed, not because somebody kills us.
Well, hold on. See, Hellwheeler could have like a 80 by 80 block room opened up, and the wall just covered in KJ's head all the way around.
I think KJ is trying to create like a big wall of heads at some point somewhere. He's just still collecting all the heads.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I'm going to do a huge display of heads on pikes.
Well, thinking of heads on pikes, there's a certain head on screen now who should chill this channel.
Oh yeah, join me over on Twitch. I'm kjcowboydan, your karaoke DJ, head in the jar VTuber, and we are going to be, as Jesse said, playing a little Minecraft tonight, and also doing a few other things over the week, particularly Wednesdays, procrastinating across the ocean with Jesse and myself, where we will be pitting your favorite IPs against each other. It's going to be fun.
Whoop, whoop. Oh yeah, like pitting your favorite IPs together, like Transformer versus Aliens from Xenomorphs, like Xenomorphs from Aliens. That'd be fun. I mean, their aesthetic blood can corrode the Autobot metal and stuff, so it'd be like literally a blood-fed war, but like Autobots and Transformers' blood is blue and aliens are green, and casualties, everybody, casualties. I think aliens are known for sneaking into ships, big old Transformers. They sneak into Transformers, lay eggs, populate there, I don't know. It's disturbing. But it's Hillbilly's turn to chill.
Hey, Monday, I will be just doing a arena stream this afternoon around 2 o'clock. That's all I'm doing for today.
Nice. Well, everybody, go check out Hillbilly and leave a comment called Sprite Squirrel, and Hillbilly will catch the reference. But anyway, this is Super Fast Tortoise here. There will be no show tonight. I'm going to be hanging out with family, having a good time. But I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being on the show. Everybody in chat for being awesome, amazing, and engaging. You guys rock. You guys roll. I want to thank you, my subscribers and members of the channel, for keeping us going, keep the lights on and everything. You guys rock. You guys roll. You make the show what it is today. And with that, my friends, I want to remind you that you are loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, brighten someone's day just a little, because you might be the change someone needs. And with that, my friends, we're going to get to that sweet, sweet outro.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes.